Boys papier. Boys papier.
Welcome to another episode of Bars by BA, and I am BA. This is your first time hanging out with us, your first time checking out the channel. Go ahead and click that bell, hit the subscribe button so you can get the latest content as it comes out weekly. For those of y'all who've been rocking with me, for those of y'all who have already subscribed to the channel, a little fist bump for you. Bump. All right, appreciate you, man. So real quick, before we get started, tell me if you've ever heard these words. It's not you, it's me. It's not you, it's me. We've all probably heard that line before. We all have heard it somewhere, whether in a movie, whether in real life. It's just something that people say all the time. But today we're gonna change that up a little bit. And what I'd like to talk about today is, it's not you, it's them. Yeah, it's not you, it's them. And today we're gonna come from 2 Samuel chapter 10, verses 3 through 6. That's 2 Samuel chapter 10, verses 3 through 6. And I'm gonna set the scene for you, and then we're just gonna hop right off into it, okay? So in this particular text, we have King David. And as you know, David in the Bible, he was a man after God's own heart. It says that in the actual Bible. But David, he was trying to be nice to somebody, and he was trying to extend the olive branch to this new king who had just became king because his dad had died. And when his dad was king, his dad had looked out for David and he showed him some love. So David was like, you know what? I want to do the same thing for his son that he did for me. So in the text, David, he sends his messengers to deliver a message to the king to let him know, hey man, look, everything is cool. No beef over here, no static. I just want to show you some love. But when his messengers got there, the people that were in the king's camp, they said, man, do you really think David sent these guys over here to be nice to you? Do you really think King David sent these guys over here to be cordial toward us? No, he sent his people to spy out the land so that they can overtake us, which, by the way, pause, that was a lie. All right, but the king, he said, you know what, y'all right. That's right, David ain't being honest, David is being dirty. All right, so what in the text it says that they shaved off the beards of the servants, the messengers, and it says they cut their robes, they did all that. Really, paraphrase, they disrespected these men. All right, so they sent them back, and David was upset. We're gonna get through all that in a minute. But bar number one is you did nothing wrong. That's right. Bar number one is you did nothing wrong. In the text, they were just doing their job. They were just sending a message from the king. And when they got there, things had just went crazy. I don't know where you are in life, but you've been wondering, damn, why did that happen to me? What did I do wrong? What did I say? Why did they treat me like this? Why did they throw dirt on my name? Why did they attack my character? Why did they lie about me? Why did they gossip about me? Look, I'm here to tell you right now, you did nothing wrong. As I told y'all before, I live in Texas, and in Texas, high school football is life. All right, and when I was younger, my uncle, he took me to a football game, a Friday night football game, and you know, it's crowded. I was young. I was probably maybe in 4th or 5th grade, and I was just excited to be at the football game. Man, it was just so cool to watch them play, and I was just like, man, I love Friday nights. And as I'm walking through the concession stand, I'm trying to maneuver through the students and the parents and all that. Out of nowhere, somebody comes and puts gum in the back of my hair. This is when I had hair. And I don't know who did it. I don't know why they did it. But check it out. I was just minding my own business, and somebody had the nerve, the unmitigated gall to put gum in my hair. I didn't do nothing. I've never seen the person. I've never seen them in life. I did nothing. Didn't step on their shoes. None of that. But look, I was just minding my own business. And I don't know where you are in life, but you're minding your own business, and somehow you find yourself being under attack. And in the text, they were under attack, and they were just minding their own business. All right. So as we keep it moving, it says that they shaved off their beards and they cut a hole in their robes. Now, I got to give you all some facts, okay? Back in those days and time, the men of Israel, they had beards because when you had beards, it symbolizes that you were mature, and it also was a social status. So the bigger the beard, the more important the person. So in this particular text, we know that these individuals were important because they had robes and they had a beard, all right? So they were a big deal. They just wasn't no peasants off the street, which leads me to bar number 2, all right? They messed with the wrong one. They messed with the wrong one. In the text, they had beards and they had robes, so we know that these guys were legit. And I'm reminded of a time back in high school when we were freshmen, me and my friends. And you all know when you're a freshman, they're like, oh, we're gonna jump the freshmen, we're gonna beat them up, right? But we made it very clear to the upperclassmen. We said, hey, if you guys mess with any of us, you're gonna have problems, all right? If y'all try to jump us, y'all try to put our stuff in the locker, you will have problems, because we had older brothers, and let me tell you something, our big brothers did not play. But there's this one particular guy named Big Cat. He was a lineman. He was probably about 6'4", I don't know, maybe 300 pounds, and he must have missed the memo, all right? So one day after practice, he went up to my friend Juice and put him in the headlock, put his hands on him, and Juice was really upset because Juice knew he really couldn't fight against Big Cat. But let me tell you what, Juice has a big brother named C-Murder. And when C-Murder came to pick his brother up from practice, and he realized that he was upset, and when Juice told C-Murder what happened, C-Murder turned off the car. C-Murder walked into the field house, found Big Cat, and when he found Big Cat, he didn't ask no questions. He punched Big Cat in the mouth. True story. Punched him in his mouth. His tooth fell out. He started bleeding. That was the end of that story. What is the moral of the story? Big Cat messed with the wrong one. I don't know who's bothering you. I don't know who's treating you less than, but I'm telling you right now, they're messing with the wrong one. All right. So these men, they go back to David. They have been humiliated. They have been embarrassed. All right. And they go back to David. And before they get to the camp, in the text, it says that David told them, hey, guys, you know what? It's okay. Hang out here at Jericho in this particular area. Hang out here until your beards grow back. Because once your beards grow back, then you can enter back into the city. Oh man, don't miss that. David said, once your beards grow back, then you can enter back into the city. So in this particular text, David was looking out for his people. David was furious. It says that David was mad. David was so mad that if we continue to read, it says that he killed all the Ammonites behind this situation. He killed everybody that was in that king's camp behind his people being disrespected. All right. So look, God is going to stand up for you. God is going to take up for you. God is going to vindicate you. And bar number 3 is God will stand up for you. God will stand up for you. I know they've done you dirty. I know that they threw dirt on your name. I know that they've attacked your character. I know that they lied on you. I know that they have been messy. But I'm here to tell you that God is going to stand up for you. Romans 8:31, if you allow me to paraphrase, it says basically when I read it, what can man do to me? If God is for me, then who can be against me? All right. And I came to tell you today that God is for you. There's a story of this groom. He had just got married and he was doing a toast to his best man. And he said, man, you know what? I want to thank you so much for being my best man because we've been friends since 7th grade. And he went on to tell the story of how they met. And he said that he would clean out his locker and walk home from school every Friday with his books in his hands. Just something that he did. And every Friday he would do this. It was his routine to clean out his locker and walk home with his books. And one day he had dropped his books. They were just so heavy. And his friend, who is now his best man at his wedding, had came to his aid and said, hey man, you know what? I'll carry your books for you. And so he carried his books for him. And they walked home or whatever. And he was always there for him. He took up for him when people would bully him and things of that nature. And he was just like, man, I just want to tell you thank you. He said, but what you did not know is that I cleaned out my locker every Friday because I wanted to go home and kill myself every weekend. And the reason why I cleaned out my locker is so that my parents would not have to come up to the school and do it. He said, but you stood up for me in 7th grade. You looked out for me and you continue to look out for me up until this day. And I just want to say thank you. Now, I don't know where you are, but you feel like giving up. You feel like throwing in the towel. You feel like you can't take it anymore because they have disrespected you in such a way. But I'm here to tell you that God is going to stand up for you. All right? Look, man, it's not you, it's them. All right? Got you. The gold bar for today is, it's one of my favorites. The gold bar for today is, they can set you up, but they can't shut you down. Woo-hoo! Run it back. They can set you up, but they can't shut you down. Man, hopefully this was good, man. Leave a comment, share this with somebody who's feeling like they've done something wrong. Share this with somebody who could just use a little push on this week. Make sure you join us next week. Next week, we're gonna talk about the 5 reasons why people be hating. Oh, don't miss that. The 5 reasons why people be hating. All right, man, share this video with a few of your friends, man. I look forward to chopping up with you on next week, man. Have a great week. We out this thing.